I got Dr.
Okay.
Taylor, Mr. Taylor, President Taylor in here with me. Um, I want to make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We're pushing out good content over here. So I'm trying to get y'all involved. Jacquez, I want to thank you so much for hopping on here with me. Um, Definitely want to give you your flowers for who you are in our community. I know it's not easy dealing with different personalities, different families, different backgrounds, etc. So just want to shout you out as an admin, and also all the other subs, teachers, parents, whoever else. I just want to shout you all out just because of who you are in our community, and I want to give y'all flowers. So definitely want to get that out the way. So how you feeling now, Jacquez? You feeling good?
I am feeling amazing. Tired, but I am feeling amazing.
That's good.
Whew,
That's
it's only Tuesday and I am tired. Last week the college students went back. Now this week K-12 is back. So my
uh-huh.
schedule is like full-fledged in pursuit. So
Yeah.
y'all pray for my strength in the Lord.
Yes. Hey, Miss Peoples. She said this exciting
Hey,
channel.
Ebony.
So the first thing I have for you tonight is obviously, we're from the same city, Thomasville, small city, etc. So what are the most pressing
You
challenges
sound.
facing our inner city schools, and how is the board addressing them?
You said what are the most pressing challenges
Yes.
facing the inner city schools?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it is the financial piece. I think not just Thomasville city schools, but city schools and school districts across the state of North Carolina and the country. We're
Mm-hmm.
facing a financial crisis. The ESSER money that, the government gave us during COVID, that money is no longer existing. They gave us an extension to December of this year to utilize that money. So for us in Thomasville, we utilize that money by putting in it to people, by
Mm-hmm.
retention bonus, recruitment,
Mm-hmm.
referring folks to the district. So there was an opportunity for our staff to take advantage of that money. However, it is the financial piece. So I'm telling everybody. I just said this in church at Union Baptist this past Sunday. This election is important. If your
Absolutely.
child attends public education or is in anything public that
Mm-hmm.
deals with public funding and public dollars, yo behind, and I'm getting ghetto right here, yo behind need to be at the polls November
Yeah.
5th
Yeah.
because we are on the menu. And April
Mm-hmm.
Ryan said it best. If we're not at the table, we're definitely on their menu. So
Right.
public education is on the menu.
I agree. I agree. So to your point, what you're saying about that, like, do you think it's targeted at lower socioeconomic statuses, or do you think it's just statewide?
I think it's everyone. We're battling with charter schools, we're battling with private schools when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
funding. I'm telling everyone, and it surprises most people when I say your child has money attached to their head, and
Right.
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It is very true that
Mm-hmm.
ADM is real, and so I think not just urban school districts or rural schools across the state of North Carolina or across the country. I think everyone is being hit with we need extra funding, we need extra support, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people are not running to education. So it's just, what
Yeah.
do we do? We have to rethink education.
Yeah.
Think about part-time educators. Think about 4-day work weeks or 4-day academic days for students. I mean, we have to think innovative. And I always say, when I went to Greece and I studied abroad when I was at A&T, and
Mm-hmm.
one thing a tourist said is, "We're laughing at America." And I
Wow.
will be too, because
Wow.
we don't look outside for other resources. We don't look
I
at
agree.
Finland, who is leading in education across the country. We
Mm-hmm.
don't look at Dubai, their practices
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to educating children. Or Dubai has that traditional mindset, and I don't believe in tradition, but when it comes to certain things, yes,
Yeah.
I hold
Yeah.
truth to my tradition.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in, at the end of the day, everybody goes home. you know
Right.
they go home at the end of the day. Even the rats and roaches in the school building, they go home,
Yeah.
and everybody's at the table eating,
Uh,
like a family.
yeah.
So there's certain things that we as a society in America, we
Mhm.
don't we don't hold true to, you know. COVID
Mhm.
taught us that. COVID exposed us.
Yes.
You know, we
Yes.
was like,
I agree.
oh, the world shut down. It's like,
Mhm.
what do we do? What we do? We gotta work. We gotta go back. No, we don't gotta. I'm saying my butt right put. Yes, I
Yeah.
fell into a depression. I moved out of the state, moved to
Yeah.
Dallas, so
Yeah.
depressed. I was always go, 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 go,
Oh
go.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Then I was like, okay, I gotta slow down.
Yeah.
But we just don't. We have to rethink
Yeah.
education and how we do practices um, in America. You know,
Mhm.
I always tell people the Constitution is not written for any of us. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic. It was written for those men that was in that room that day, and now they are no longer in existence.
You
Thank
said
you
something
for
right
your
there.
service to the country, but
Yeah.
outdated.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore. Hey, Dr. Mutawali.
Hey, Doc.
Your child has
Hey,
meditation.
Mr. Moore.
That's facts. That's facts. So, as you, like I said, you being in the admin role, you being hands on in Thomasville, and also, like you said, nationwide. And because I mean, I feel like we see things on a smaller scale, but as an admin, as a teacher, we do have, or you do have a larger impact, so a broader impact. So, to that point, how does the board play or plans, I'm sorry, to improve student outcomes, particularly in underperforming schools within a district?
The great question. Oh my God, great question. I just spoke with our new superintendent. Shout out to Dr. Quincy Williams, who is our first Black male superintendent in Thomas.
Yes.
Shout out to Dr. Williams, who has been hitting the ground running. I have to say that.
Let's
And our new senior leadership in TCS. Dr. Mudawali is a part of that as well. Shout out to her for
shout out
returning
Dr.
back to the
Mutawali.
district.
Yes.
Well, to answer the question, um, we are addressing the needs of students in our low performing schools. I wouldn't say low performing because we're coming up off that list.
Okay.
Pray for
Yes.
us. We're coming up
Yes.
off that list.
Yes.
Have faith in
Yes.
all things. Have
I
faith.
do.
Programming, developing programs. You know, when people think program, they think, oh, quick, fast, and hurry. No, 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 no. If you want the program to be or programs to be successful, it takes time. It takes
Takes time.
developmental, and so that's what we're doing. You know, this is the pilot year. You know, everything is new in terms of
Mm.
new,
Okay.
new, everything new. That
Mhm.
was the convocation song.
Mhm.
Um, and so programming, investing in after school tutoring program. You know, when we were in school, Shay, it was 21st century. You
Yes.
know, those things
Yes.
when your last president got in office, he nipped all that in the bud. We ain't gonna say his name, but we know who that is.
I knew. Yeah.
We know who that thing is.
I
And I
know.
hate to call somebody parent a thing, but that's a thing.
Not too much.
That's a thing. But I say programming, you know, academic support, you know, wraparound services. When you think low performing, or when people think low performing, it is all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck.
Absolutely.
You providing wraparound services. You
Hmm.
providing services for students before school, during school, and after school.
Yes.
You know, and Thomasville is
Yes.
so small that you can drive around the block and be back at your house in 2 minutes. That's how
Hmm.
small Thomasville is.
Hmm.
And so we have to invest in a small district like Thomasville. It's a community school. Our kids don't have any other option but Thomasville City Schools unless
Yeah.
they move outside of the city limits and go to the county schools or
Hmm.
within our neighboring schools, Winston-Salem, Gifford
Hmm.
County,
Yeah.
Randolph. So our kids in Thomasville don't have that opportunity just to uproot and say, hey, I'm going to another school. No,
Right.
all of our schools feeder into each other.
Yeah.
So we have to invest in programs, and that's what we are, taking into account going forward in this school year is looking at what type of programs do we need to invest in. I do encourage all parents and families
Hmm.
to voice their opinions on what programs will benefit or they see benefit in their child for the future.
I agree.
And I'm a proponent of tutoring. I've been tutoring
Hmm.
for the last 10 years, and I
Hmm.
have been very successful with that.
Hmm. I think to your point, we're talking about us investing as a community. I think we have to see the larger vision. I think a lot of us get we get closed minded because Thomasville is such a small city and it's such a communal town. And I think a lot of us, we miss it in a sense of there's an opportunity there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even with people that decide to move away, me myself, and then decide to transition back, it's kind of one of those, why would you do that? No, it's like this is my this is where I'm from. One. Two, there's an opportunity everywhere for everybody to flourish and succeed. And I think now we're at a pivotal point with the children that need people that care about them, that want to make sure they succeed, that want to make sure that they're well prepared and equipped to get off into the real world and flourish. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what, unfortunately, it seems like that's what not just Thomasville, I mean, a lot of schools are missing now admins that care about them and admins that want to see them, win, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. So she said, come on, wraparound service, be present. Yes.
Who said? Oh yeah. Yes.
Sugar
Free.
breathe. Mr. Moore said, before, during, and after, this is key to ensuring academic goals and purposeful instruction. Yes, absolutely. I agree. So I had a nuance point from what we just talked about,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm noticing now, we had a dress code back in my day. So I just wanted to talk to you about what's being done. I don't know about Thomasville. I'm not really too immersed in what happened in Thomasville now, but obviously social media shows the kids, the bonnets, the bedroom slippers, the bedroom pants, and I'm just trying to get a clear understanding, because we had dress codes. We couldn't even wear spaghetti straps when I was at school. We couldn't wear too short shorts, none of this. And I feel like there's an exact correlation between how the kids dress and how they view themselves and how they transition out to the real world. If that
Mm.
makes sense. I think it's not taking it serious. Like, if you don't understand how when you show up.
That's your appearance. I mean, that's first impression. And
Absolutely.
for me, it's and I hate to bring up COVID. We 4 years post COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I
We know.
always say people are still dressing as if they are at the house.
I
If
don't like
you
that
don't
sound.
put your clothes on, if you don't come to this store or this school building with that bonnet off your head, you would
Yes.
never. And yes, I'm growing my locks out, and I have to be mindful. Like, I will drive all the way to work. This is no lie. All the way to work with pins in my hair.
Uh-uh.
And then it's to the point where I'll drive with a little cap on my head to keep my baby hairs down.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would never get out the car. I would never ever. And some of my coworkers, shout out to them, and my former coworkers are on. Um, Thank
Yeah.
you all. But they would never see me in a bonnet unless I'm over at
Ever.
their house.
Ever.
You're not gonna ever see me pull up at no bonnet. You're not gonna ever see me go to Walmart in no pajamas. You may see
No.
me in shorts, but let alone pajamas? Oh, absolutely not. Mm-mm.
That
Mm-mm.
was a cardinal. In my mom's house, my mom wouldn't never let me walk out her house with a bonnet.
So, you first of all,
We're not doing this.
pajamas, bonnet, crust
Pajamas,
in your
bonnet.
eyes.
Your hair need to be looking like something. Your face need to be washed. You need to brush your teeth. Like, you need to have on your undergarments as a woman. Like, all this. I don't know what all this is. I'm gonna just be
Now
honest.
I will say, I'm very transparent. I'm open,
Okay.
hot. I'm humble, open, and transparent.
Right.
Let me tell you something. One time, Yvette Abrams, if she's on here,
Hey, Miss Abram.
if she's on, I don't know if she's on, but if she go back and watch it, she saw me. Maybe it was last year. I needed to get gas at the local Sheets, and I had on a onesie.
Uh-uh. Come on, now, we got to do better than this.
It was like 10 o'clock, so I don't judge people, but I literally ran out of the house. I was like, I need to get gas because then I like to listen. I leave my house and it's be like traffic, trying to get to work. So I was like, let me just be proactive, get some gas. Had
Yeah.
on my onesie and I said, there go Miss Ava. And she saw me. She said, I should have took a picture. No, please don't take no photo. You don't need to remember this. But I will remind you that I did have my onesie on at the pump.
No. And
But
see,
going
I
inside of the store though, I'm not doing that. Because then now I'm on surveillance. Because now
yes,
it's proof that they saw me in the store with
yes.
pajamas on.
But it's the point again. Walking out the house, my mama was, but Miss Davis would never. Where you going with that bonnet? With them pajama pants, that bonnet, again, hair not looking some kind of way, teeth not brushed, again, undergarments on and in place. You're not leaving the house with all that. Again, that's how I was raised. I don't know about these other people, these kids out here. I don't know, but in my mama house, she ain't played it.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And I had someone ask me at work, they said, why you always dress up? Because I don't intend on ever staying in the position that I'm in.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
I dress every day. Like you will see me in a blazer at least 3 out of the 5 days of the week.
Absolutely.
Like,
As you should.
like I'm going to be in a blazer or either
Mm-hmm.
going to be in a suit. You know, one of my coworkers today told me, they said, Prince would be so proud of you. Because, you know,
Yeah.
I step my game up.
Yes.
I mean,
But you have to. It's always an area of opportunity to increase, or in I guess increase is the term, but or just get better. And so I just think it's imperative that we understand when we walk into these places of business. I don't care if it's the schoolhouse, the bank, the store, etc. You got to look presentable.
absolutely. And, you know, when I started flying in 2016, this when I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. But one
Hmm.
thing, I forget who told me this, but it stuck with me. And by the time we get off this call, it'll come to me who told me this. But he
Hmm.
said, you know, when you go to the airport, you need to dress up.
Yes.
Because you might likely get bumped up to first class. When I tell you, when I was flying for that whole year, 2016, 2017, I was getting bumped up because I
First
was like
class.
dressing up. I'm
All
like,
off your appearance.
I'm like, dang. But now I'm sorry, but now I'm just going in gym clothes because listen, I'm not getting beat to go to the airport. I'm
Yeah.
not going in no
You're not
gear.
doing the
I'm
most.
not doing that.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not I gotta run in some of these airports. No.
Yeah.
So I'm in some tracksuit,
Right.
tennis shoes, and I'm gone. Thank God for TSA pre-check.
Yeah. Mr. Moore said there needs to be a parent uniform policy. He not lying. That's facts.
I definitely agree.
That
I used
part
to
of
joke with
parent
my
dress
mama
code.
all the time. I said, "When if I ever become a principal, I'm gonna have a policy. You know, parents, if you come in here with a bonnet on, I'm not servicing you. I don't care if your child
Yes.
is in the building. No, 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 no.
No.
Leave out, leave out, leave out my
Leave.
door.
But it comes from somewhere, and I'm not attacking parents because I'm not a parent. Respectfully, I'm not a parent. However, I feel like kids always paying attention. So I feel like it needs to be some sort of standard when it comes to having children and, again, presenting yourself a certain way in these spaces.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a standard.
I mean, I
It
always
is.
say kids are a product of what they see.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely a product of what I have saw. You
Yes.
know, my mom, my aunt
Mhm.
Mel, you know,
Yeah.
Dr. Mudawali, Kathy Davis, you know,
Yes.
June Atkinson, you know, these are my mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dress up for your future. Absolutely. The no bra. Oh, I can't handle it. The no. Oh, no bra and a bonnet.
and
We
look
got
at
to
my
stop
brother.
this. Hey, brother. Hey.
Okay.
um. So I want to ask you also another question. How do you think that the community and the parents or the community in general get involved more with the school?
Being present. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just said this in service on Sunday, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all walk the halls, parents. Parents, come and walk the halls. You
Mm-hmm.
are welcome to
Mm-hmm.
come and walk the halls. Community, you know, your community constituents, come walk the halls.
Mm-hmm.
City
Mm-hmm.
council, I encourage you to come walk the halls.
Yes.
Legislators, the governor, heck, come walk a
Come
school
walk. Yeah.
hall and see what educators deal with on a day-to-day basis. It is not easy. And that's why as a board chair and as a board member, I literally understand and have empathy for everyone in positions.
Yes.
I understand how it feels to be a bus driver. I never drove a
Mm-hmm.
bus, but I have drove a bus to receive my CDLs, but did
Okay.
not go and take the test. So I do know how
Okay.
to drive a bus, y'all. hidden talent, if y'all did not know that. Um, two, a custodian. When I lived in Dallas, believe it or not, but during COVID, I worked at an apartment complex. It was a small apartment complex where I picked up trash, extra money. I'm never
Yeah.
too good,
No, me
never
either.
too good to pick
No.
up trash.
Mhm.
But what I am, I love my coins. I love money. I like to shop. Okay, so that's what
Okay,
motivated me.
period.
But I understand what it feels like to push a mop. Um,
Mhm.
I know how I feel to be a teacher. I know how I
Mhm.
feel to be an assistant.
Mhm.
I know how I feel to be a secretary at the front desk. Shout out to Miss Georgia Marshall who
Yes.
pushed me into my front desk experience.
Yes, Miss
Customer
Marshall.
service.
Yes.
Love Miss Marshall,
Yes.
but I understand how I feel to be a coach, how I feel to be an AP. Now, I've never been an AP, but I work closely with
Mhm.
APs in
Right.
Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is to be a principal, but I
Mhm.
probably could do a principal's job. I work closely with principals, so I
Okay.
understand people's roles
Mhm.
in the school system. One thing I did not understand is how central office worked or
Mhm.
operated. Um, Shout out to Tulsa Public Schools who gave me my first opportunity to interview for a central office experience. And the only reason why I didn't receive the job or get the job is because I did not have district level experience.
Mm.
But I'm
Okay.
saying all that to say now being a board member on the other side,
Yes.
I tell people all the time I have to play devil's advocate
Yeah.
a lot. I'm not
Mhm.
taking no sides with anybody, but I see the
Mhm.
work that everybody is doing. And what
Mhm.
I do encourage people is to trust the process. In
Fact.
all things, the word say in all things have faith.
Come on. Come on.
Faith. And so,
Yeah.
it's change is the inevitable,
Mhm. Mhm.
but people have to be open to receive what the change is, you
Yes.
know.
I agree.
So I just
I
encourage
agree.
people come off the halls of the
Yeah.
schools, see what educators go through. Get on the school bus and see what we experience as bus drivers. See what they experience, you know.
Mr. Moore said presence is key. Don't come when your child just got in a fight. Join the PTA with your get up. Uh-oh. Get them together. Get them right together. Period. Not when your baby got in a fight. We don't want to hear it when the baby got in a fight.
No, I don't want to hear it. They going to the house.
Headed one way.
You're going to the house.
They
Sorry.
headed one way.
Mm-mm.
I think a lot of it too is so okay, so here is my I guess a caveat to your point what you just, spoke about. I think what about okay, let's talk about the churches in Thomasville. Because in my opinion and in my experience, I believe that we need more again communal support as a whole. But I also feel like a pillar in the community previously has been the churches, specifically black churches. So again, I think there is a level of opportunity there for the church to come together with the inner city schools, specifically Thomasville City Schools, and provide some sort of resources, not even for just the children, but also for the families. I just think that's a missed opportunity.
You know, it's that's a twofold for me.
Okay.
I'm I, I'm not a member of a church in Thomasville.
Okay.
I'm not. My church is in Greensboro.
Okay.
However,
Mhm.
I say the church is the churches want to be involved in the school system, but we have to remember a lot of young adults our age are not in the church, or they're not in sync to the churches that we have in our community. So I'm giving an example. First Baptist, who is a traditional church. You have Emmanuel,
Friendship.
who is a traditional church. Friendship, they're older, so they have older crowd versus uh, Lady Max and Pastor Max Church.
Okay.
Seeker, more affluent, more
Mhm.
flourishing, young millennials,
Mhm.
in the church.
Mhm.
My church, multicultural, diverse church.
Yeah.
We have all ages at Evangel. And so you have to think about where the audience in the churches are nowadays.
Okay,
So
so the mindset.
the mindsets, people are set in their ways, and I hate to say that, but people are set in their ways. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting set in my ways in certain things. I'm like, dang, 30 is rolling around the corner. I told Dr. Mutawale one day, I said, oh, I got to embrace 30. I'm in the middle, next
Yeah,
February will be here soon. I got to just accept the fact. And
yeah,
I love getting older.
yeah.
But back to what I was saying, the churches in Thomasville, people, they want to be involved, but remember, a lot of our seasoned church members can't keep up, or they're not aware of what's going on when it comes to like what's hip, you know, the new technologies,
Hmm.
what supports the school system need.
Hmm.
They believe in spare the rod, sport the child. So stuff like that. So it's
So
just
you're saying the mindset is sort of, I guess, antiquated in a sense of it's not relevant anymore with where we are now as a society.
I wouldn't say it's not relevant. I would just say it's just
It's different.
it's different. It's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
It's different. Like even when I try to visit churches in town, it's like, and then I go back to my church in Greensboro, I'm like, okay, I see the difference.
I
It's
can
like
see that. I can see that.
the progression is not there.
I can see that for sure. Sharnay said, as a community, we've gotten away from being community oriented. We are very individualistic, and that has harmed us. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Mr. Moore says it's not many churches who are community oriented unless there is a ministry that has a huge youth ministry. Traditional churches are not really supportive of supporting school systems. And that's just unfortunate.
That is.
I mean, I just think it's unfortunate because, again, when we think about pillars in the Black community, we think of, again, churches, people like uh some sort of refuge for the community. I think that's a missed opportunity. Again, like you, to your point where you're saying about churches, and then it's a difference, just like I guess like a breakdown in communication or understanding in a sense.
Hmm.
I think it's an opportunity on both sides to come together and understand we're better together. Like Charnay was saying, we're better together as opposed to having this individualistic mindset, because again, that has harmed us as a community as a whole in
Yeah.
every capacity, not just when it comes to school systems, but also when they're talking about raising a child.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be just honest. Even growing up at Union Baptist and First
Yeah.
Baptist, coming up,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
didn't really. I mean, we went to school with our teachers. We went to school
Yes.
with the people in the school system, but I didn't see a lot of. So I didn't see a lot of volunteerism from people from the church in our schools, unless they worked in the school system.
Let me think.
That was my experience. I never experienced people from the church coming in. Maybe when I was in kindergarten, I do remember, Reverend Johnson.
Not kindergarten. I'm too weak.
I was in kindergarten, and Reverend
Yeah.
Johnson, my Reverend Johnson was my pastor, so he
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
very involved in the school. I always saw him in school,
Yeah.
at least twice out of the Monday through Friday, and then I
Yeah.
saw him on Sundays, and then going through elementary, I stopped seeing him. I was like, dang, Pastor Johnson ain't in the schools anymore. But I think he found or got another job, or I don't even know what his
Hmm.
position was. I just know he stayed actively
You stay.
in the
Yeah.
school system.
Yeah.
Um,
Mr. Moore said churches want to be called upon to support. It's a disgrace to the body of Christ nowadays. There is a popularity that is prevalent in churches.
hmm Yeah,
He
come
said
on.
what he said.
He
He
said
said
what he
what he
said.
said. He not lying.
No,
So, okay, so I think moving into, I guess, an HR perspective, like putting on your HR hat here, it's like, what is Thomasville specifically? I'm not speaking to other schools, I guess, in the state. It's like, what is Thomasville doing specifically to attract talent that is beneficial, or students that, benefit from the staff that is there? Because it seems like, I don't know. I don't know. So my question: what is Thomasville doing to attract talent that speaks to the children? Um, in a sense.
we have increased our promotion via
Okay.
social media. You
I've
know,
been seeing y'all too. Shout out
Listen,
to y'all.
shout out to Thomasville City Schools HR department, Dr. Hales and
Yeah.
Miss Barbara Everett. They a two-woman show.
Okay.
Um, and I literally just had this conversation this morning,
Hmm.
with our superintendent, how we can attract, um, more teachers. We have to, continue to be visible because people are
Hmm.
watching.
Absolutely.
People are watching Thomasville City Schools, and also people want to come to Thomasville City Schools. We talked about investing in going overseas to Jamaica, to the
Yeah.
Philippines, and bring those educators back. We have done that before. We
Hmm.
Miss Heggie, I'm not sure if you remember her, but she's eighth grade math at the middle school.
Okay.
And so
Hmm.
they want to come here. People want to come to Thomasville. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
However, I'm not bashing anyone on this. I'm just saying, but previous administration, previous staff members, previous school leaders have not made people feel welcomed. And I say this to say,
Okay.
as a former Bulldog, or as I ain't no former, I'm always a Bulldog. As an
Right. Same.
alumni, 10
Yeah.
years, 2014,
Yeah.
um, when I walk the halls at the high school, I'm like, what is our tradition? What is Thomasville? Because
Mm.
we have allowed people to come in and dismantle our culture in our community. With
Okay.
again, Thomasville is a community schools.
Right. It
This was
is.
the only option that we had, unless we
Hmm.
moved. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I used to pick with my mom. Like, I want to go to Andrews. I want to go to Andrews, or I want to go to Southwest Guilford.
Yeah.
That's because my friends that I ran AU track with went to those
Went
schools.
to those schools. Got you.
Mom's like, I'm not driving out to no 68 to take you to no Southwest Guilford, and you definitely not going to no Andrews.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still support those two schools to this day,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
almost 30 years old, and I'm an
Right.
educator
Right.
because my friends who I grew up with went to those
Went
schools,
there.
and they are successful to this day.
Hmm.
But I say that because we're not talking about other people's schools, but we have increased our visibility on social media, making it about children. We
Hmm.
had an evening of excellence. Shout out to our former interim superintendent, Dr. Elisa McLean, who,
Oh,
you know,
Dr. McClain.
she is the bomb.com.
Oh my God.
Learned so much within working with her within those
Yes.
6 months she was in
Yes.
Thomasville. But I say that to say, we have made it about children. And I think that the new board meant business when we came on in December.
Hmm.
The business is children. You know,
Yeah.
I love children.
Hmm.
Anybody will tell you my stance is for children. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not for adults.
Right.
All right. I
Yeah.
support adults.
Hmm.
I support educators.
Hmm.
End of the day, children is first
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about my retirement in the
Hmm.
next 28 years. I can retire. I'll be
Yeah.
58. So I need to make sure that LaQuandre,
Hmm.
Paris, my little cousins,
Hmm.
Justin, whatever you want to call the children's name, I need to make
Hmm.
sure that they can read
Yeah.
and know how to read
Sure.
vital signs, or they
Yeah.
are able, or they're competent to be
Yes.
able to add and not be
Hmm.
kicked off when they go into a store. So
Yeah.
that's my why.
Yeah.
Children,
Yeah.
children. That is my
Yeah.
stance.
Yeah.
You know.
I think honestly, I think that is so impactful when we're talking about, you're for the children because it's, and this is not this the Thomasville. I think this is, again, this could go country, nationwide, etc. I think a lot of people are just in it for the monetary benefit, not realizing that these are children's lives. And like, I can speak from me as, again, a graduate 2009 from Thomasville City Schools, and I can distinctly remember my kindergarten teacher, my first grade teacher, like all my teachers, and how they were hands on and very immersed in our progress and being productive students. I could vividly remember those teachers. I could call them
Mm-hmm.
out right now, just having that
Same.
relationship with them. It does. It speaks volumes. It does. And I think that is a huge thing, being a teacher and being an impact on a child's life. I never will forget any of my teachers that really took up the time with me and really made me feel like, whether it's a teacher, an admin, a sub, etc., a coach, anything, anybody that ever made me feel like I was valued in that capacity, I would never forget those people ever. Like, as long as I live, I will never forget them.
And I always say this. I just told someone today.
Hmm.
People would never know there's been some teachers, um, that talked down about me when I was in school, and now I'm their boss. And
Mm,
I treat them the same way I treat those
same respect.
that
Yeah,
that supported me in school, but I'll
absolutely.
never mistreat them or mishandle them. But there is a time where I'm going to say, "Hey, can I pull you to the side because I don't want them to affect or
Yeah.
another student to have an experience that I had with them."
Mm, okay. Gotcha.
There's a certain school in within our district that we went to and
Hmm.
graduated from.
Hmm.
I have trauma when I walk into that school. I
Oh
do.
my.
I have
Wow.
trauma,
Really?
and I had realized it over the summer. I was like, it's just something in me that just cringes or turns. Like I want
Mm,
to lash out when I
mm-hmm.
come into this space. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's real. And then we
Yeah.
don't think about how when parents walk into the schools,
Mm.
they may have had experience
Traumatic. Okay.
from the school, and then we wonder why they coming in with they like,
Yeah.
we don't ask the questions, but
Mhm.
I'm a fast forward thinker. I'm
Right.
always thinking about other people's feelings. I'm
Experience.
always thinking about their experiences.
Mhm.
Because that's what someone with a diverse, equity, inclusion mindset have.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
I don't think that I'm the smartest person, but I
Mhm.
do think that I am more cognizant of people's experiences and how they act, their actions and things.
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. So
Gotcha.
it's called social emotional intelligence.
Yes. Hmm.
So I just think that when as educators, we don't think about that when parents come up to the school. It's like, why is
Hmm.
this parent acting out? Well, maybe the parent did not have a good experience when they were in school, or
Hmm.
they always getting turned away. That's why I say customer service is important.
Absolutely.
The new chancellor at North Carolina Central, her biggest thing is customer service.
Hmm. Hmm.
Service. Like,
Hmm.
come on now.
Yeah. And I think to your point when you're talking about customer service, I think a lot of it is sometimes we forget that we're humans and again, we're customers in some capacity.
Mhm,
So it's one of those shifting your mindset and shifting your position and also your perspective to allow to understand, okay, in this capacity, I'm not a customer, but in some capacity I am, whether that's my phone bill, whether that's my cable provider, etc. I'm a customer in some capacity. So I think, to your point, I think that is a great point. Miss Davis said I build my relationships early. Amen.
yes.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Davis. Okay, so I think we kind of touched on this, but I still want to ask it. How is the board engaging with the community to ensure that parents and the churches, me back on churches, to
Mhm.
have a voice in the school decisions?
By going to the community. So, one thing that I am pushing for school district staff is to
Hmm.
connect with the churches. We expect them to come to us, but now we got to do something different. We got to go,
Go to them.
hey, we need your support.
Okay.
Hey, your students go to this
Yeah.
community school.
Mhm.
Hey, we need X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Hey, how can we support you?
Right.
Hey, what event do you need us to show up at? So one
Right.
thing, I'm all about breaking barriers and building bridges all
Absolutely.
over again.
Hmm.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm stressing, and we're gonna do this in September at some point. One of these Sundays, probably the fourth Sunday in September, we're going
Mhm.
to the Hispanic church. I may not know
Okay.
how to speak. I may not know how to speak Espanol, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in service to
Right.
let the people know that your school board chair, your school's superintendent,
Yeah.
leaders, whatever, we're gonna show up because our kids show up at this church every Sunday. Why can't we
Yes.
go and worship with them?
Yes.
So I'm super excited about that. That has not
That's
ever been
awesome.
done
Yeah, that's awesome.
in Thomasville. So we're going into the community, you know, letting people know what we need help and support with.
Yeah. I think,
Everybody's welcomed,
yeah.
to be a part of the change.
Right.
Granted, some people don't like change. I say that in the beginning, and some people want power. But if you're gonna have power, at least use it for the good of the people.
Hello, somebody. Come on now. I think a lot of it too is I think me and you might have discussed this, or me and my mom might have talked about this. I think a lot of people are what they call it, spectators.
They are.
But it's just very unfortunate because, well, not very unfortunate, but it's unfortunate because there's an opportunity again for everyone to be hands on. And again, being from a small city, we all pretty much grew up together because, like you said, it's one school. We got one primary, one elementary, one middle, and one high. That's it. So I think there's an opportunity for people to not just be so critical. That's why I made it a point when we first started to, give you your recognition because it's not easy. I'm outside looking in, and like I said, I don't think I have the patience for that. I'm just being honest. So,
Listen, I I've been asking myself. People say someone. I think about it, man. LaRonda Lucky. He said, I wanna. He said, I wanna have a camera follow you around because he said I know you do a lot, and
yeah,
I'm like I do. I said I don't even know, but we don't have to. If that was the case, we got to cut the cameras in the car when I'm traveling because boy, I'm not
not
nice.
not cut the cameras in the car.
Cut the camera. Cut the camera. But no, it's true. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard, and
yeah,
I have to shout your mom out because she has been with me. Her and LaGail Williams, they have been with
hmm
me. You know,
hmm
I mean, there's I told them in the beginning when I was running for board, I said I'm gonna have to have an outlet.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they they like my aunties, like,
yeah,
and I love hanging around with older people. My
yeah.
Aunt
Me
Mill,
too.
God rest my Aunt Mill soul, but my Aunt
Yeah,
Mill did not play that. You ain't hang around grown people. So when I got old enough, I was like, I'm gonna hang with the wise and the wisdom. I
yes,
believe in the African proverbs, sit at
yes.
the feet of your elders.
That's right.
And so look, shout out to LaGail and Kathy Davis.
Yes,
Because
yes,
they are like literally, I'm just thankful for them. Like
yeah,
they let me vent, we
yeah.
go off. There was there was, your mama gave me feedback. I was using a word and she know what that word is very loosely. And she was like, can you like find another word? And then I all of a sudden I just start back saying the word. I'm like, man, I'm sorry.
Look, I done told you she get me together all the time. Just like the other day when you texted me talking about did we miss something, I said, baby, I'm surprised Miss Davis didn't catch it. Cause she
Right.
text and see my mama, she real bad. She'll see something I post and she'll text me on the side like, well, did you need to go back and fix
Shay, she do me like that too.
it.
Like she'd be like, change R
Change
to
this.
is. I'd be like,
Yes.
damn, Miss Davis.
Yes. Honey, she be on it. So, but to your point, we're talking about getting the community involved. I think that is a huge opportunity that we do miss, unfortunately. But I'm happy that there is a strategic plan in place in terms of, like you said, going to those Hispanic churches. I have never heard of that, but that is an innovative idea. We're
Yeah.
talking about going and visiting those different churches and making your presence known because, like I said, we need it. And obviously, the demographic in Thomasville is changing to Black and brown kids. I think predominantly, is that safe to say?
No, that is safe to say. And
Okay.
when, I just read a research article, it
Mhm.
was on LinkedIn. It was like, Black and brown children um, do well or are more or prone to be more successful when they see people that or individuals look like them in
Okay.
spaces and places.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I do truly honestly believe that. I
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
I my first Black male educator is a part of an organization that I inspired to be a part of.
Mhm.
And because of that exposure,
Yes.
I have kept that same momentum from second grade to now here,
No. Wow.
someone who has a higher education.
Mhm. Yeah.
Shout out to Gerard Fant,
Shout out to Mr. Fant.
I mean, he'll tell you to this day, I will ask him questions centered around that organization.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we're talking about, as you being the board chairman, how does the school board plan to address the issue of school funding disparities within the district?
Repeat that last part again.
So, like the school funding disparities, how does the school board plan to address in terms of funding and getting more funds in the school and again, more resources, whatever that looks like?
building partnerships. I'm all as a chairman, I'm out working
In the field.
in the field. I always tell people, just because I'm the chair and the board, I'm still doing the work too,
Yeah.
recruiting, sharing, shout out to those, people that I spoke with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with corporations.
Mm-hmm.
We have Old Dominion right here in Thomasville.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
aren't why aren't they connecting with us?
Yes.
And
I
one
agree.
day when I worked at Old Dominion, I asked my VP, I said, "Hey, why don't you all give money to Gifford County schools? Why aren't y'all giving to Thomasville City schools?"
Yes.
Like, we don't mind giving, we don't mind supporting, we don't mind doing X, Y, and Z. However, we don't like when people come to us and then they're not consistent.
Okay.
And so when you're building relationships and partnerships, you have
Yeah.
to be consistent.
You do. I agree.
Let me say it again. You have to be consistent. At
I
least
agree.
send the people a Thanksgiving card. Hey, we're
Yeah.
thankful for your partnership. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People, the little things matter,
Absolutely.
just like details matter. Send them a holiday card. I'm not gonna say Christmas because some people
Some
don't
people. Yeah.
represent
Yeah.
Christ, but I do.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too.
so send them a holiday greetings card. Something.
Mm-hmm. I
But
agree.
and so I was like, that makes sense. We only knocking at the people's doors for one stop shop. No, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no.
No.
We have to continue to build that rapport and relationship. So when they
Mm-hmm.
come knocking, oh, we got y'all. We
Yeah.
got a check, and here go a check. You know, shout out
Mhm.
to Horseman for giving us $500 for gift cards for our
Okay.
convocation this year.
Okay.
So
That's
that's a
fine.
consistent
Yes.
partnership.
Right.
you
Right.
know, Not just when we need something. No,
Right.
that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So we are looking to invest with
Mm-hmm.
individuals. I've
Mm-hmm.
been emailing deans at universities to connect with them to build their education pipeline.
Yes.
A lot of universities are not graduating students from their education preparation program.
Mm.
It's a lost cause.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you 10 students graduated from the College of Education at North Carolina A&T.
Okay. Wow.
20 years ago, that was not even something like we could have thought about.
Yeah.
People were
Yeah.
graduating left and right to be educators now.
Yeah.
So again, people, if you're watching this, rewatching this, we on the menu. Public education on the menu.
On the
So
menu.
y'all butts out there and vote.
Wow. Wow. I think I wanted to the nuance point we were talking about. I want to talk about, or I want to discuss when you're talking about other cities and other school districts, optimizing those opportunities to connect or build those, like you said, consistent communication and consistent resources. I think Thomasville, there's an opportunity. And again, I'm outside looking in because, like you said, to your point, I don't really know what's going on. But I think there's an opportunity, like you said, Old Dominion. I mean, pillars in the community that have been there for years upon years since all of us were little. I think that's a missed opportunity, and also studying and paying attention to how other school districts and how other communities do their funding. I think like with the Divine Nine, I think there's an opportunity there. Specific chapters that are in specific cities have an opportunity to, again, those inner city schools, black and brown children. The Divine Nine is predominantly black and or brown people. So I
Hmm.
think there's an opportunity there as well. So I think when we're talking about, bridging that gap and coming together as a concerted effort, I think there's an opportunity there as well.
I definitely do um, feel like the Divine Nine needs to be more present in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Praise God for Kamala Harris, for her
Mm-hmm.
efforts in trying to lead the country and be the first. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's an example, to
Absolutely.
some black girl.
Mm-hmm.
I went to an event and my little cousin was like, "What's those ladies in the pink and green?" I said, "Go over there and ask them.
Ask them, yeah.
Ask them. That's
Mm-hmm.
exposure.
Yes.
So if we want to continue legacies that we as black and brown people have created,
Mm-hmm.
we have to expose children. They're again children.
Yes. Yes.
exposed, and so the legacies of these organizations and these
Hmm.
places can continue to thrive and success, you
Yeah.
know. But again, when we as Black and brown people learn our powers,
It's a problem
it's gonna be a problem in this
for
in
everybody.
society.
Yes.
But one thing I say this, and being in a position of power, I have
Hmm.
not ever exerted my power on anyone.
Hmm.
I use my power for good.
Hmm.
I will say this: when we as Black and brown people, more specifically Black people, when we
Yeah.
learn to stick together and
Hmm.
rally together, we will
Yes.
be a much better people.
I agree.
I know other dynamics and other cultures, they stick together. They might stab each other in the back, but they gonna stick together. We ain't
They
gonna
gonna
come
stick
in there
together.
and tear up something. But us, this is a candid conversation. I'm just being
Yeah.
very honest.
I
We don't
respect.
know how to support. We
Mm.
like crabs in a barrel,
Yes.
fighting, pulling each other down. I don't
Hmm.
believe in that. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna ever withhold any information unless unless I can't tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But I don't ever believe in withholding information because I don't like people withholding information from me. Because
Absolutely.
everybody tell me everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Right.
But I listen. I give
Yeah.
my feedback, and I always tell
Yeah.
people, do you want Mr. Taylor feedback or do you want Jacquez? Because if you want Jacquez, I'm gonna keep it real raw and nasty with you.
See, I think I'm more the opposite. I'm more like, okay, do you want my feedback or do you want me to just listen? Because I think sometimes people just might want to just have a sounding board where they don't want to really have a solution based answer. They just kind of want to, bounce it off somebody.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm cool with that. But I
I
need to
was
know what are the boundaries before you and I enter this conversation.
sitting.
I just want to ask those questions. What are the boundaries before we get into this conversation? Because I
Oh
don't want to
yeah,
overstep the boundary. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and one thing I learned when I was in therapy
Hmm.
was my therapist and my one of my friends, she always say, I respect you so much. And I
Hmm.
was like, let me back up. And my
Yeah.
therapist like, you need before you enter into the conversation, ask people, do you have the mental capacity to receive what I'm about to throw on you? Like we fail to
Absolutely.
do that. And I'm like, I wish I be wanting to, it's something I saw on Instagram. It was like, I want to stop people in mid conversation and say, I don't care.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
I want
the
to
amount of times I think that in my head a day,
I be
especially at them
like,
people job.
I just be like, okay, I just want to stop you mid sentence and say, and or just grab your lips and like, did you ask me? Did I have the mental capacity?
Yes. Yes.
Just
Yes. Yes.
don't look,
But
don't say nothing else.
I think that is uh I think that's both the communicator and also the receiver's responsibility because at some point in time, okay, you would need to ask these questions like, look, I might not be in a space to handle this right now. Maybe I got too much going on. Or maybe I'm just listening to you without emotion involved. And I might just be, okay, I'm good to listen to this, but no. But I think so. Okay, so I want to ask you another question, Jacqueline. When we're talking
Mhm,
about, the crabs in the barrel mentality, back to that point. So I think that is a mindset thing, back to our original point when we first started this. So how do
mm.
you think that what are the resources in the community in Thomasville specifically to support family members, parents, and children that deal with mental illness? Are there any resources there to, I guess, promote those resources out?
Yes, so that is a great question. So I'll speak for the school system. Yes,
Hmm.
there is a lot of resources. Shout out to our director of student support services. We just got our first social worker at the
Okay,
high school.
awesome. Hmm.
So we're going to have two social workers within the district, one
Okay,
only at the high school because our superintendent did an assessment, where is the most need for
need,
another
right?
social
Okay.
worker. And
Hmm.
he saw fit to put one full time at the high school. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
So there is resources out there, but
Hmm.
being in the Black community, people don't really believe in mental health or they don't know coping mechanisms to help them. And, for me, for you, we've lived
Mhm.
outside of Thomasville. And
Yeah.
so, and then for us to come back home, give
Mhm.
back, and then, stir up good trouble, as the late
Mhm.
John Lewis would say,
Mhm.
people don't understand that. Like,
Mhm.
I've lived in Tulsa,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I've lived in Dallas, Texas. I've
Mhm.
lived in Miami, Florida. I've
Mhm.
flown all over. I've
Yeah.
vacationed all over. I've been out of the country. So
Mhm.
I don't have a crab
In a very
mindset.
right. Right.
I'm not fighting because,
Right.
listen, when my term up on the board, if I decide to run for re-election,
Yeah.
if I don't get re-elected, I'm fine.
Right.
I've done what God has called me to do. This is
That's
God.
right.
I always tell
Right.
people, this is not me. This
Yeah.
is God, because I
Yeah.
could be somewhere in DC, because that's where I had a job when I moved back home.
Okay.
I did not take that because I prayed and fasted. Thank God
Mhm.
for my mama, because she was like, you can stay home as long as you want, as long as my key work. Listen, as long as my key work,
Hello.
I got somewhere to lay my head.
Right.
And I got too many
Yes.
family members to, so,
Yes.
but I'm saying that to say, we don't have that crab mentality. And so we understand how to live outside of
Yeah.
Thomasville on our own. We
Mhm.
understand to seek resources. We understand to
Mhm.
go ask questions. We
Yes.
understand. And so my thing is teaching a community, you know, how to seek help and seek support. The worst thing
Mhm.
people can say is no.
That's it. That's
I
all I.
mean, people tell me no. People have told me no, but most of the time
Mhm.
they say I'm gonna work it out.
Yeah.
And see, I don't like telling people no. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna work it out. And I always tell people, please know that I have 50 million things going on. So if I forget, please remind me.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I'm not here to be a disservice. I'm here to be a service.
Yes.
And so I always, mental health, I always tell people, do what's best for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take
I
time
think.
for you. And
Mhm.
especially parents, like we said, we don't understand the day-to-day to be a parent, but I
No.
am a part of villages.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always encourage parents, take mental breaks from your children, because they
Mhm.
are taken from you.
Mhm.
When they
Yeah.
at school, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
you a burger before you go to the house.
Right. I think a lot of it too. I think we oh, Nina in here. Hey, Nina.
Look at Nina.
I
What's going
think
on, boo?
I think a lot of it too is that we as a people, and I can say we because I'm a part of the Black community. I don't know about nobody else's community. I'm a Black woman. I speak to Black people experiences. So, in my experience, I struggle with vulnerability as a Black woman. Period. So I think a lot of us we struggle with being able to be vulnerable and being able to admit I don't know.
Hmm.
And I might need to ask somebody about this, but I'm afraid I don't want to look stupid or incompetent or unaware or out of the loop or etc. But it's an opportunity for all of us to learn more and again teach our children or
Hmm.
whoever, our nieces, nephews, little cousins, aunties, uncles, whoever, teach them something different. But I think we've gotten so stagnant, some of us, not all of us, we've gotten stagnant and afraid to ask those deeper questions or ask for help or say I don't know.
And it's funny that you say that. I just
Hmm.
something just resonate with me. When I moved back home, no one knew I moved back to North Carolina. I mean,
Okay.
no one knew. Are
Yeah.
you visiting? And then those that were close to me, they was like, "It's not time for you to come back to Thomasville." They just kept saying, and I'm cognizant of what people saying. I'm like,
Hmm. Hmm. Me
"Oh, it's
too.
not time for you to come back. Why are you back? Why?" I'm like, "Y'all, I'm fasted for a whole month." I'm like,
Yeah.
"God, show me the signs." It
Hmm.
was time for me to come back home.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, I am cognizant of my experiences, my worldly experiences, the
Yeah.
people I've connected with,
Hmm.
the positions I've held, the tables
Hmm.
I've sat at, the
Hmm.
opportunities I've held.
Hmm.
Being back home, and we are in this crab mindset, or
Hmm.
some people are in this crab mindset.
Hmm.
I struggle with showing up in spaces.
Oh no, not me. I don't care nothing about that.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
show it.
no. I say I don't. I mean, I'm gonna always be my authentic self, but I'm
Yeah.
saying when my intellect, exposing
Oh,
people
okay.
to
I got you. Yeah.
conversations,
Yeah.
I struggle with that because I'm like my intellect, and I'm not putting anyone down. I
Mhm.
love my community, black,
Yeah.
white, Hispanic, everybody.
Mhm.
But when it comes to my mindset, and I always tell people, and jokingly say this, but I really mean this: if you can work in Miami-Dade County,
Hello.
the 305, you can work anywhere in this country.
Not Miami-Dade County.
Public schools, because that's where I work
Uh-uh.
for in the school
I
system. I
was
work.
I went to visit. I went down there, and baby, I think we went to a school in Broward.
Listen, I experienced colorism.
Yeah.
I experienced colorism in the workplace.
Yeah.
I won't go into that,
Okay.
but I experienced colorism.
Mhm.
So coming back home, dealing with the attacks that I've dealt with,
Yeah.
the threats that I received,
Mhm.
I mean that was nothing to me. People expected me to respond that they thought I should respond or how I responded 10 years ago. I don't
Mm-mm.
need to do that.
No.
I don't need to cuss anybody. I don't need to go off on anybody. I don't need to put my hands on anybody because I can think. I have an intellect. I'm
Mhm.
competent. I'm very competent.
Yeah.
But people, it is different. So I have to be cognizant of the spaces and places I show up in
Yeah.
Thomasville because I
Yeah.
don't want to be perceived as uppity,
Right.
bougie, or he knows everything. No, I don't know everything, sweetie. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't show up to space. I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
And when I show up to spaces, I come with it. I served on a panel for Orange County alumni for NCCU. Go Eagles! Whoop,
Go Eagle.
whoop. One of my coworkers probably on here. Bree, she probably like, oh Lord, but forever an Aggie.
Yeah.
Always.
Hello.
But I represent North Carolina Central. But I served on a panel, and this 91-year-old man sat beside me, and
Mhm.
y'all, he literally started asking me questions. He
Mhm.
said to me, he said, do you know what's going on in the world? I said, yes, sir. So he started asking me questions. And when I tell you, he was very impressed. And then when I got on the panel to speak, and after I
Mhm.
spoke or whatever, he was like, you give me hope for the future.
Oh wow. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
He's like, you give me hope. I mean, those older black men and women were coming up to me like, oh my God, like you're so well spoken. Like,
Mhm.
what? And
Mhm.
I always say I proudly served as the youngest school board chair across the state of North Carolina because
Mhm. Yeah.
am,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am. And so I have to represent because a little black boy is looking at me.
Yeah. That's right.
And
That's true.
so I'm
Yeah.
mindful of how I show up in spaces and places because
Mhm.
I don't want to be perceived as, oh, he's bougie. Yeah, they're gonna think I'm bougie because of how I dress, but my intellect, I'm here to support and serve.
Yeah. And see, I think for me, I just look at it, I look at it differently. Like, like to your point, when people like, why you coming back home? People ask me the same thing. Why you moving back here? It's like, it's not a, why am I coming back home? Number one, that's going to always be where I'm from. I don't care if I move to South France, Timbuktu, Australia. I'm always going to be Thomasville. You see what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's never a sense of me looking at it like, oh, Thomasville is the worst place on earth. No, same thing that's going on in Thomasville going on in California, in Jacksonville, Orlando, again, South Africa, the same thing. It's all relevant.
Yep,
Ain't nothing new under the sun. So I think when we talking about, why you want to know, it's not a why. It's like that's where that's me always. That's
that's
gonna
me.
always be who I
Yep,
am. You see what I'm saying? And so, and also, when you're talking about like showing up intellectually in spaces, I think a lot of the times my closest people that are to me, like Nina, my friends, my family, I don't want to have to be this put together person. Or like I want to talk freely. I want to run my mouth, and I want to do my big one around my closest friends that are to me. Like I don't want to have to be like. That's why I be around them all the time when I'm at
mhm.
home because it's like I could just be Shay. I don't have to be nobody else. I could just be who I am. You see what I'm saying? So that keeps me grounded in the sense of I don't have to put on no face. I'm just me.
It's it's so it's so funny you say that. I always tell people I don't hang out in Thomasville.
Hmm.
I barely go to the grocery store, and if I'm in the grocery store, I'm in and out because I don't want to talk school board stuff
Oh,
after
okay. Yeah.
5 o'clock. Like it's to the point where Thomas, if you're a viewer and you're listening and you're not from Thomasville, I have a school board phone and I have a personal phone. This is my personal phone.
Uh-huh.
Before anybody calls my personal phone, I mean the school board phone, they'll call my personal phone. That's how small Thomasville is.
Oh, okay, okay.
And my number is all over the social media because I tutor, I have a tutoring business.
Oh yeah, okay, uh-huh. Yes.
So I mean, no one has ever played on my phone up until last August when I
Okay.
received a call. But I say that to say, I was saying to my friends earlier, we was on Instagram, and it was like a post. If I die, come get my phone because they gonna get they gonna read our text message. That's how I feel about when after 5 o'clock, I'm at my friend's house or I'm at a
Yes.
friend's house. I'm just relaxed.
Relax.
Yes, I'm an elected official, and yes, I'm under scrutiny, and
Yeah.
people scrutinize me and my character every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? But when I'm around authentic people who really
Yes.
believe in me, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
let my hair down. I want to be free. I want
Yes.
to say what I want to say.
Yes.
You know, I want to do me.
Yeah. As you should.
I want to do me. Like I
As
don't
you
want to
should.
be an elected official. I don't
No.
want to be the board chair. That's why when I show up at cookouts, they be like, "There go Mr. President." No, here
I
goes
don't
Jack.
want to do that. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's like a
I'm
good balance.
human. I'm gonna pick up me
Yeah.
a glass of wine.
Yes. Hello.
I'm gonna toast up to the
Yes.
success.
Yes.
But no, I mean that goes back to mental health. I
Yeah.
have learned to take care of my mental health. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just learned to cope with
Yeah.
different things. I'm not gonna let this stress me out because I
No.
know I have people praying for me.
Yes. And also, like we were talking about before, like having that balance, like you said, have your close circle of people that know you for real, and you ain't got to you ain't got to be nobody but who you are, period.
Yep.
Outside of your job, however people perceive you, people that I'm around that know me, I'm just, hey, I just want to have a good time. I don't want to get no drama. I just want to chill. So I think that's a huge thing of just having a core of people that really
Mhm.
know you and accept you for who you are. Period.
Listen, shout out to your mom because we all listen. If they only knew what goes down in our conversation,
Hey,
our two
hey,
hours on the phone, me, her, and Lagail, or when we at the restaurants and we the last people in there until the restaurant is closing, the people looking
yeah.
at us like, "Are y'all gonna leave?
Are y'all gonna leave? Yeah,
Like, can y'all get out? We trying to clean." Like,
yeah,
literally, those
yeah,
are the times I have. And granted, I like to hang with older people,
yeah.
because when they are gone, the
Hmm.
wisdom is gone, and so
Yeah,
we have to keep that going. I really believe in that, like sitting at the
I
feet
agree.
of my elders, like I just do.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
good eats and
So
good laughs with CD and Lagail, la la.
yes, honey, Miss CD is something else. So, one last thing before I get you out of here, Jacquez, what type of feedback and or I guess information could you offer the students and or the community of Thomasville? Like, what would you like to see in the students and the community, and how you want them to participate in the progression of TCS or the community as a whole?
Show up and hold those in leadership accountable
Okay.
because we're holding you all accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Our students, it's all about you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, and your mom said it, build a relationship early. As
Yes.
an educator, this is day 2 of school.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow is day 3.
Mm-hmm.
You teachers, you should be building authentic relationship and
Yes.
rapport with your students and families. Calling
Mm-hmm.
them, hey, how you doing? Is there anything that I can support with? How is such and such at home? All right, it's a
Mm-hmm.
two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
So being accountable, holding people accountable. And listen, I am the wrong person to say, hey, Jaquez, can you hold me accountable? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna hold you accountable because I
Yeah.
want you to hold me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to hold me accountable
Oh
and
yeah.
call me out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a big boy. Call me out. I'm
Yes.
like, dang, I didn't look at it that way, or dang, because I reflect.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
want people to be held accountable, hold the school
Mm-hmm.
system accountable, because
Mm-hmm.
again, in Thomasville, we only have one school system, and it's 4 schools in that one system.
Yes.
So therefore, parents community activists, whoever you want to call yourself in the community,
Mhm.
hold the school system accountable because we're holding the community accountable to be involved. It's a community school. Hold me accountable. Hold the Board of Education accountable because that's who holds everybody in the school system accountable.
Okay, I
That's all,
like that.
you
So
know.
we need accountability, y'all. Hey, I'm gonna be up there. I might come up there and tutor with y'all one day. Maybe I might do 30 minutes.
We need you in the system full time.
Don't make me hang up on you on this thing.
You can do real estate on the side.
Look, I can't. Okay, let me not say. I told mom. I said, Mom, I ain't able. She said, Well, you already spoke it. You must not be. I'm not able. I'm just being honest.
Listen,
Maybe I'm not able.
listen. I told you before this call. I love children with every fiber in me. But
That's what I'm saying.
going back to the, and like I said, let me be clear.
Okay.
It's not the kids in the classroom because I have good classroom management. I build
Mm-hmm.
authentic relationship with my students.
Mm-hmm.
I run a tight ship, as Kathy Davis say. I run a
Yeah.
tight ship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, ain't no but. However, it's the adults. It is the adults. And for me, I just could not go back to being a classroom teacher because I have experienced so many things, being at the
Mm-hmm.
table, being in leadership position.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the person, if you don't have a vision, I can't follow you. You can't lead me. You can't coach me. You can't
At
guide
all.
me.
At
You know,
all.
the African proverbs say, where there's no vision, the people will perish.
Perish. Come on now.
And I am not about to perish. I believe in flourishing,
Hello.
thriving. So therefore, if you are a leader
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have a vision, baby, nobody's gonna ever follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Because my saying is, the trainee is just as good as the trainer, or the
Come on now.
supervisee is as good as the supervisor. So I'm only good as my supervisor.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all better know
I
them
agree.
double E's and ERs. Come on now, that's English. I just gave you an ELA lesson.
Yes. Yes.
No standards.
Yes. So I want to thank you again, Mr. Taylor. Sorry about calling you Jacquet. Mr. Taylor,
Bye.
I want to thank you for gracing us with your presence, your insight, your knowledge, your feedback, your wisdom. Definitely want to see, excited to see, how you impact TCS and other districts and schools nationwide, statewide, etc. How you have an impact on them, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the change. I'm excited about the transition. I'm excited about everything. So
I'm so
best
excited.
of luck to you and your colleagues and your mentors and mentees, etc. So
Thank you. I will be a panelist September the 12th at 7 p.m. for the National Council for
okay,
History Education
okay,
on Zoom. So I will share that via Facebook, everyone. So that is going to
okay,
be a conversation with other Black males in
okay.
education, K-12 and higher education. So I'm super excited about that.
So share that. Send it to me and I'll share it on my platforms or all my
Okay.
platforms as well. I think that's huge. You said us all black males.
Yes, is a
Okay,
national
wow.
for yeah, it will be with the National Council for History Education. Yep.
Okay, okay, awesome. So let people know how they can reach out to you, Instagram, Facebook, etc., whatever platforms you got.
Big dog, you don't want to follow me on Instagram. I'm kidding.
Oh wait.
Twitter, Director JDT. Facebook, Jaquez D. Taylor. Instagram, follow at your own risk.
Oh, wait.
I'm
Period.
kidding. I'm all jokes, y'all. I'm all jokes.
So again, I want to thank y'all, all the viewers. Thank y'all for coming in. Make sure y'all comment, like, share, subscribe to the content, and we will see y'all in the next video. Jacquez, I hope you have a good night and a great rest of your week.
Thank you. You too. And
Thank
welcome
you.
back home soon.
Yes,
Woo!
thank you. Thank you.
Okay.